Hey everyone, it's Ahmad. It's been well over a year since Apple introduced their M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBook Pros. I personally have the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, and in this video I'm going to share my experience with the computer and how it's held up for me since I got it. Before I upgraded, I was using the 15-inch Intel MacBook Pro, so jumping from that to the M1 Pro was a huge performance jump. The computer has been great for me and I've absolutely enjoyed my time with it so far. I'll be going over my MacBook specs, my favorite apps, and some cool accessories I use with it. So let's get started. The MacBook I decided to go with was a 14-inch model in space gray. I got the M1 Pro chip with 32 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. I decided to upgrade the RAM as I do use multiple applications at the same time when I'm coding or editing videos, so it's just nice to have that extra memory to keep up with all the applications I'm using. I did want to upgrade the storage too from 512 gigs to 1 terabyte, but decided not to as I have quite a few external SSD drives that are empty, so this was a good reason for me to put them to use. Plus, Apple charges a ridiculous amount to add extra storage, so unless you actually need it, I don't think it's worth paying for it. I think for the average person, the standard specs that come with the MacBook Pros are fine. The machines are already so powerful it can handle the basic use for most people like web browsing, note-taking, and even coding and basic video and photo editing. The specs on this machine are perfect for me, and even though the M2 MacBook Pros came out recently, I do not see myself upgrading from my MacBook Pro for the next few years unless Apple adds a feature or two that I absolutely cannot miss out on, like OLED or touchscreens. Until then, I'll be rocking this computer for all my work. So what do I use the MacBook Pro for? It's actually my main machine for coding. All of my personal software engineering work gets done on here. This computer is definitely a bit overkill for my type of software engineering work, but it will last me a while and take care of all my coding needs in the future. The next thing I use the MacBook for is video editing. I don't edit my videos for TikTok and Instagram, but I do edit my YouTube videos on here. My video editing app of choice is LumaFusion for now, but I will upgrade to Final Cut Pro later this year. I also use the MacBook for planning and scripting my videos for all my social media accounts as well as for emails. The keyboard is very solid, making the typing experience very enjoyable. The trackpad is great too, making switching through apps and scrolling through windows much smoother. It is the best trackpad in the market right now after all. Finally, I use my MacBook for a little bit of content consumption. I say a little bit because most of it's done on my Apple TV or iPad. When I'm working on my desk and have the MacBook on a stand, I sometimes like to have a YouTube video or sports game playing in the background to glance at while I'm working. The MacBook gets a lot of use in, and the crazy thing is I'm not even scratching the surface of its actual power, which is incredible. I use quite a few apps on my MacBook Pro. Some of my favorites and most used are Visual Studio Code, Notion, and LumaFusion. I work as a software engineer for my day job, and Visual Studio Code is an industry standard application used to write code. It's also what I use for working on personal projects and learning new programming languages and technologies. My favorite thing about Visual Studio Code is the customization options. Everyone can make their IDE unique with their own themes, icons, and extensions. So if you're not using this app already, I highly recommend to check it out. The next app I use is Notion. I'm sure many of you have heard of this app as so many people use it, and there's a really good reason why. You can create a template for almost anything you're doing, from note-taking, finance management, and specific pages catered for your job or classes. I use Notion for planning and scripting everything from my content as well as tracking my finances. I even use it to project plan some of my personal coding projects and note-take for new things I'm learning. Notion plays a huge part of my life, and I do plan on creating some templates I'll be releasing soon, so stay tuned. Finally, we have LumaFusion. This is a video editing app that was on the iPad only, but now is also on Mac. I like it. It's really simple and easy to use and gets the job done for what I'm doing. I do plan on switching to Final Cut Pro in a few months or so, but for now LumaFusion will do. I also use many other apps with my MacBook, but I'll make a separate video dedicated to them in the future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. To enhance my MacBook Pro experience, I do pair it with some accessories every now and then. For the most part, I use the MacBook by itself, but using some accessories with it does help once in a while. The first accessory I use is the laptop stand from Uppercase Designs. This is great for when I want to use my MacBook as another monitor when I'm working at my desk. The stand is built very well and keeps the MacBook at a good height. If you are rocking a MacBook only setup, this stand can be a great addition to your setup to get you some extra room for more desk accessories and some peripherals. The next accessory I use is the Magic Mouse from Apple. I know the trackpad is amazing and all that, but sometimes I do like to use a mouse, and the Magic Mouse is what I went with. It's very light and minimal, making it easy to carry, and will obviously have no compatibility issues with the MacBook. Many people aren't a fan of the Magic Mouse, but I actually like it a lot. It's no MX Master 3, but gets the job done when working on the go. The final accessory I use is a laptop case from Grams 28. This is a leather case that's high quality and built very well. It has extra storage slots inside for you to carry extra accessories and cables with you. Most of the time when I'm using this case, I don't even bring a backpack with me because I can carry everything I need inside this case. When purchasing, you can even customize it a bit, so I added my initials. This case has by far been the best case I've used for the MacBook, and I would recommend it to anyone. So you're looking to get a new MacBook. Which one should you actually get? I think quite a few things play a factor in which one you ultimately decide on getting, like budget and how you're going to use a computer. If budget isn't an issue for you, then I'd say get the M2 MacBook Pros even if you won't be using the machine to its full power. The computer will future-proof you and you'll have a solid computer for the next 3 to 5 years, if not longer. I always believe to get the best thing you can according to your budget, and if you don't have one, then I'll wish you for the best even if you might not use it to its full potential. That way you won't have to constantly be upgrading every year or so. If you do have a budget, then I think you should look into the M2 MacBook Airs. They're very powerful machines, also very lightweight and portable. You'll get all the power you need to do whatever you throw at it and can easily carry it around with you on the go. The MacBook Airs also have the midnight color, which I think is so clean, and I'm super jealous that they don't have them on the MacBook Pros. So if you're in the market for a new MacBook, look into the M2 models, either the Air or the Pros, whichever suits your budget and needs. Whichever option you'll choose will last you for a solid couple of years. And that's been my experience using the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. If the M2 Pro MacBooks haven't been released, then I'd recommend this computer to anyone. But since there's a newer model out, I say go for that one regardless if you will use the machine to its full capability. If it's within your means to get one, then I think you should get it as it'll last you for a good amount of time. I think the 14-inch is a perfect size to get, but if you want to know the pros and cons between the 14-inch and the 16-inch, I actually made a video going over that, so you should check it out to make a better decision for yourself. I have enjoyed my time with my MacBook Pro as it makes all the work I do on it so much more easy and enjoyable, as I had the Intel MacBook before, which gave me issues all the time. It's great for me to take on the go, and having those extra ports helps me stay dongle free. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my TikTok and Instagram for more tech and lifestyle content. I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great day.